Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane Yu. I'm a wedding and event planner based in Los Angeles, just figuring out life and business one day at a time. In my last video, I talked a little bit about month of coordination, day of coordination, and the differences between full planning and coordination. Now, you're probably wondering, is there something in between if I don't want the full planning package, but I do want some planning and coordination? And the answer for me, at least, is usually no, but I do know that a lot of planners offer partial planning. The reason that I don't really offer partial planning is because I personally like to do full planning for the most part. Coordination is a good package as well. I do love walking into the last 3 months of the planning process and just helping the client wrap everything up. But my preference is really doing the full planning from top to bottom because then I have visibility from the beginning to the end. And I really feel like that's the most helpful that I can be for a couple. Partial planning is a little bit tricky because the scope can get a little murky. For instance, if you're choosing from like different like elements of the full planning package and you're constantly trying to think about, is this part of my scope? Is this not part of my scope? And I don't want to have to keep doing this back and forth and push and pull with the client about what's included and what's not, unless it's something very clear, like I'm only going to handle X vendors. But that gets a little bit tough because everything is so intertwined, especially when it comes to the schedule and communicating with the vendors. So it's a lot of back and forth. And I feel like there's just going to be more time added to the communication between the planner and the client. So personally, I don't love doing partial planning. Now, if a client wants to talk about a custom package where let's say they really need help with design specifically, then that's something that I would consider. But again, once I start talking to vendors and managing the actual planning process, the scope can get a little bit murky. And so I would just have to make sure the scope is really tight. So for instance, if a client wanted help with design, then I would really help them nail down the look and feel of the wedding and not communicate with any vendors or anything like that until it came time for the coordination part. I do offer something called a consultation package. I'm not sure if all planners offer this. I know some planning companies do have some type of consultation add-on or element to their packages, but consultation is really for clients who really want to plan their own wedding, but they're really not sure where to start. They know that they can do it and they have the time and they want to, make sure to have the space to do it, but they just don't know where to start. They don't know how to stay organized. My consultation package is more of an advice based service. It doesn't include wedding day coordination. So, pretty much all of my clients have booked consultation and month of coordination together. So, when we start the planning process together, we'll set up these one on one consultation calls, usually monthly or every few weeks. And we will have these regular calls. And on those calls, we can really go over anything that they want. We can go over floor plans, we can go over their design board, we can talk about how they're super stressed out or if someone's really annoying them or whatever it may be. It can really be anything, however they want to use it, whatever they need help with. We can review contracts as well. I also provide a Google Doc or a Google Sheet really where we can communicate. Sometimes things get lost in email, so I don't like the back and forth on email too much. So try to keep everything centralized in a document, and they basically put in their question and I will respond to them when I see it. That works really well because that's an unlimited amount of questions that they can ask me in between our calls. Of course, if something urgent comes up or they really need my assistance immediately, they can always call me even when it's between those consultation calls. For instance, I had a client whose venue postponed or had to move their date, actually earlier, not postpone, and then the event eventually ended up canceling the wedding. And so, of course, they called me in a panic and we were just going through what the options and next steps were. And so, of course, things like that come up. And in that case, I'm always available for the client to give me a call and we can talk through those things and how to solve the issues that come up. To give you an idea of the price difference for my services personally, full planning and design, as I had mentioned, is around $10,000 or starts around there. For my consultation, this does not include wedding coordination or management. The consultation, if you want to use it for 12 consultation calls, it starts at $3,200. And then if you wanted to have 6 consultation calls, it's $2,200. And then month of coordination would be $3,450 on top of that. It can range anywhere from $5,650 to $6,650 compared to the 10K. I think the people that used my consultation package or have booked it have really enjoyed it, and I can tell that they really enjoy planning their wedding and being really personally connected to the planning. And so I'm really glad that I created this package, because anytime I did discovery calls, I found that there was a need for this type of package, because clients were really looking for something where they just needed guidance on how to do things. That was a short and sweet video just about consultation and why I created it. It's been a pretty popular package since I introduced it, and I really think that it's a cost-efficient alternative to full planning if that's something that you're looking for. I hope that gave you a little bit more information and background about what types of services are out there. Not all planners are created equal, so it's definitely worth just taking the time to see what's out there to make sure you book the right service and hire the right person for your wedding planning journey. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed watching it. Please hit that subscribe button for more content surrounding wedding planning and just the next steps that we're going to take in this journey together.